Good morning and Happy New Year. I'm practitioner Rebecca Venkatraman, and this morning, holding the light for us is our practitioner Deb Sadler. So our first announcement of the morning is Dr. Kathy Hearn had the pleasure of sharing her holidays with her grandchildren, and they had the pleasure of sharing their flu with her. So this morning, we will be having our message delivered by Reverend Tammy Mars. And as we do each year on the first Sunday of the year, we have our education table set up in the back, and practitioner Nancy Mills will be there to answer any questions or to sign you up for classes. We're really, really lucky this year. 3 pillars of this spiritual community are offering classes for us. Starting on Monday, Reverend Tammy and her husband, Reverend Rick, are teaching the power of your word. This is an accredited class, so if you're going forward with your education, that's important to know. But if you're looking to go deeper and to spend time with some very, very special spiritual beings, this is a really great class. And then on Tuesday nights, Dr. Christian is going to be teaching basic foundations again. So this gives you the understanding of science of mind and what our teachings are all about. In addition to the class, you're going to have 10 weeks of classes and an opportunity to sit with Dr. Christian, which there are no words for. There's also going to be a workshop with Jenny Mills, and she's going to work with you on writing prayer treatments. And then on Tuesday nights, we're also going to have Reverend Lori Mack is offering a class. And her class is, It's Never Too Late to Begin Again, Discovering Creativity and Meaning at Midlife and Beyond. Now, I've not had the opportunity to take this class, but it's Reverend Lori, so we know it'll be fabulous. And I'd like to tell you that starting in February, we will be starting our basic beliefs classes on Sundays, but not today. They start in February. So now, if I could ask you to please stand and greet your neighbors.
Good morning, Seaside. Happy New Year, 2017. A lot of exciting things on the horizon. Glad you're here. I'm subbing for Rebecca. She's got a gig in Cabo, so I'm just subbing with her for her. She's stuck with me this morning. What can I say? It's all good. It's all good. And we're excited for the things that are happening because we trust in God, huh? Can I get an amen on that? All right, that's right. I'm thankful, so thankful. I'm one in the Spirit all around you. I'm thankful, so thankful. I trust in God. I'm happy, so happy. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm happy, so happy. I trust in God. I'm loving, so loving. I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm loving, so loving. I trust in God. I surrender, I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I surrender, I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful, I'm one with the Spirit all around me. I'm thankful, oh grateful, I trust in God.
Thank you, Leslie Green. Thank you, guys. You sounded great. Great. Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Hello. As she mentioned earlier, if you're just coming, you can see I'm not Reverend Dr. Kathy Hearn. She is not feeling well, caught some bugs over the holidays, and so it's my honor to be with you here today as Reverend Christian is off skiing in Montana. Yay, go Christian. I always just pray really hard when he's gone like that. Like, he stays really healthy, doesn't fall, or any other things. Because my number one fear is that I'm going to be called late to do a talk, which I was yesterday or whatever the day was before. So it's like, I'm a good manifester. I did good there. But I'm happy to be with you here today as we're going to be talking all about our lives and creating our lives and seeing God in it. So I'm happy to be with you and to share this with you today. I'm glad that you are here today as we're starting a brand new year. I know it's a good one because we make it so. So with that, let's start with in prayer and in the stillness. I want to call our practitioner forward, Brian Atkins, to lead us into the stillness.
Hello. Please join me in the stillness. And I know that God is all there is. God is that all-loving, all-caring source of divinity and inspiration that permeates everything and everyone. And I know that God is right here, right this very moment, expressing itself through each of us here at Seaside today. And I know that we are all one with God. We are one with the source of love and caring and compassion, the source of wisdom and knowledge. And it's because of that that we are all heir to all the wealth and all the riches in the universe. For we are God's essence. And I give thanks in advance in knowing that each of us here today receives exactly that which we are here for. As the words flow forth from Reverend Tammy Mars' lips, each of us is touched. Each of us receives a new shift, new insights. And we, in turn, take that out into the world and pass it on to others. And so I simply turn this time over to the hands of God and know that it is perfect.
God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good to me. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good. God is so good to me.
I would like to welcome anyone who might be new that's here this morning. What a great place to start the new year. We have several gifts for you in a packet near the front door, so please stop and pick that up. We'd love for you to partake of Seaside, and we hope that you'll come back. This morning I'm going to read for you something I found on the internet, and it is anonymous. I am the new year. I am an unspoiled page in your book of time. I am your next chance at the art of living. I'm your opportunity to practice what you have learned about life during the last 12 months. All the good that you tried for and didn't believe was yours is mine to grant you when you have fewer conflicting beliefs and desires. All that you sought and didn't find is hidden in me, waiting for you to search it with more determination. All that you dreamed but didn't dare do, and all that you hoped but did not will, all the faith that you claimed but did not have, these slumber lightly, awaiting to be awakened by the touch of a strong purpose. I am your opportunity to renew your allegiance to Spirit, who says in you, "Behold, I make all things new." A new year is unfolding, like a blossom with petals curled tightly, concealing the beauty within. Spirit, let this year be filled with the things that are truly good, with the comfort of warmth in our relationships, with the strength to help those who need our help, and the humility and openness to accept help from others. As we make our resolutions for the new year ahead, let us go forward knowing all things are possible. Thank you. And now if you would settle into your seats and join me in prayer. On this first day of the new year, I know there is one source of good in the universe, and that source is God, timeless, changeless, and ever-present, the all in all. I know that I am an aspect of the Creator, perfect, whole, and complete, here to light the path for those who are also following their spiritual beliefs. I am grateful for the opportunity to join in this sacred time with each sacred person here, knowing that we go forward enriching, uplifting, and blessing all those in our world. I am thankful for Seaside, the community, and the love that is present in this sacred place. And as we begin a new year, I know we do so, benefiting and bringing to those we interact with the highest good of all. Our lives are enriched, filled with joy, happiness, love, perfect health, perfect wealth, perfect relationships. And I am thankful. And so it is. Amen.
Well, Seaside, we're very thrilled, honored, pleased, joyful to have a very beautiful, talented, lovely, wonderful young woman with us today. She's actually a songwriter. She plays a good guitar. She's going to join and has her man on the bass too, which is wonderful. So having the duo here today to join our band. So put your hands together. She's also directing a choir, or she's involved with a choir for the folks who are experiencing homelessness. And she's just been wonderful with that. She also has some CDs in the back, so please be sure to support her as well. So put your hands together, give a great Seaside welcome to Miss Steph Johnson.
All right. Yes, Rebecca asked me, would you like to come start out the new year? I thought that was such an incredible honor. I used to live in Cardiff, and I would come here. So I am so happy to be back and hanging out with you guys. All right. This song is the first song off of my CD called Be Light. Ready? 1, 2, 1, 2. Oh, be light. Don't worry about being right. Right? Be loved and watch yourself be loved. Come on. Yeah. Have a heart that's kind and you're gonna be fine. Oh, you wanna be free, you must let go of everything. Oh, you are beginning to see. Oh, you are beginning to see that this life, it needs you. Oh, be light. Don't worry about being right. No. Come on and feel my love before I fall off the stage in my nice girl shoes. Come on. Come on, let's have it all. Let's have it all up now. Come on, it's this, yeah. Woo! Oh, you are beginning to see. Yeah. Oh, you are all beginning to see. Oh, that this life. Yeah. Oh, that this life it needs. Come on, don't worry about being right. No, 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 no. Come on and feel love and watch yourself be loved. Hey, have a heart that's kind and you are all gonna be fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you wanna be free, you must let go of everything. Oh, you are beginning to see what you are really made of. Yeah. Oh, you are beginning to see. Oh, what this world means to you and me, to you and me. Yeah, now. In just a minute, in just a minute, we are all gonna be gone. In just a minute now, in just a minute now, we are all going to be gone. Oh, in just a minute. Oh, in just a minute, we are all gonna be one. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's Steph Johnson. Thank you. Thank you so much. First time at Seaside. We appreciate it. That jazz guitar sounds good, huh? I told her I was listening to George Benson lately, and it just sounds like a little George Benson, doesn't it? Yeah, awesome. Good job. So hello, everyone. I wanted to start today with just kind of a fun little poem that I have used actually in previous years. It's called the Ode to January. It says, "'Twas the month after Christmas, and all through the house, nothing would fit me, not even a blouse. The cookies I'd nibbled, the eggnog I'd taste, at the holiday parties had all gone to my waist. When I got on the scale, there arose such a number. When I walked to the store, a little less of a lumber. I'd remembered the marvelous meals I'd prepared, the gravies and sauces and beef nicely reared, the wine and the rum balls, the bread and the cheese, and the way I'd never said, no thank you, please. As I dressed myself in my husband's old shirt and prepared once again to do battle with the dirt, I said to myself, as only I can, you can't spend a winter disguised as a man. So away with the last of the sour cream dip, get rid of the fruit cake and every cracker and chip. Every last bit of food that I like must be banished till all of the additional ounces have vanished. I won't have a cookie, not even a lick. I only want to chew on a long celery stick. I won't have hot biscuits, cornbread, or pie. I'll munch on a carrot and quietly cry. I'm hungry, I'm lonesome, and life is a bore. But isn't that just what January is for? No. Unable to giggle, no longer a riot. Happy New Year to all, and to all a good diet. Kind of fun, huh? But we have a teaching, we have a power, we have an ability that's stronger than that race stuff that's there. So we can just set that intention. So, as I was thinking about today and the new year, one of the most beautiful things about the new year is that the entire planet's all here at the same time. And we all have the same tradition of a brand new year and a brand new really anything that we are setting new intentions. I mean, we feel uplifted, we feel inspired, we think about our lives and how we might want to do what we might want to do this year and what we might want to do different and how we want it to be. And that's a really powerful energy that is worldwide that we can take advantage of. that we can become part of, that we can use to even help our dreams and our desires to have a little more strength altogether. And so, as I was thinking about that, I was thinking about, we simply just need to remember, all these spiritual truths and all these things that we read. It's really about remembering, and there's a lot to remember, it feels like. But whenever somebody says something and you go, oh yeah, that's right, I kind of got away from that, or I had forgotten that, or I'm going to keep that more in the forefront of my mind because, that's true, and I haven't been following it. And that's really what this time is for. And I want to remind us, and I want to talk a little bit today about setting our intentions, about really taking the time to go within and to really claim our truth and to really decide what we want and to really line up again. It's only an indication of where our focus has been when things aren't really working right, or we're kind of in the grind, or we're used to doing the same old thing. It's just simply an indication of where our focus has been. And so what we can remember, and what's powerful to remember, is to bring our focus and our attention to the infinite possibilities, to what we want to create, because we know it's all available for us, but we just need to remember, okay, bring my attention back to that. So I want to start with something from Ernest Holmes in his book on how to use the science of mind, and where he says something very similar to that. He says, man or woman is given power over his own life. He cannot alter the laws of nature, but he can so alter his relationship to them that which has bound him may now free him. He has been given the prerogative of spontaneous thinking. He has been given the ability to initiate a new chain of causation. For there is only one mind, and we use it. Our thought is operated on by a universal creativity which is infinite in its capacity to accomplish. Infinite in its capacity to accomplish. Thus, in taking thought, we do not force anything. We merely decide what thought to follow, knowing that the results is automatic. And so I want to spend a little time kind of talking about that. That as we set our intention, as we consciously go within and make a decision on what do we want? What do I want? What happens to us from an internal standpoint is we become that place where Spirit now has to deliver its good, because we're a vibrational match. So what we're really kind of doing is we're going back to the basics. Reverend Christian's going to be talking about the basics in January. Most of our Science of Mind churches do that. We go back to the first 4 chapters of the Science of Mind and just remember and realign again. And so I want to bring up a quote to share with you from Einstein. And it says, everything is energy. And that's all there is to it. Everything is energy. Match the frequency of the reality that you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. This is not a philosophy. This is physics. Right. So when we remember the power of that, and we remember that we're the creators of our experience, we remember that we have a God, that we have a spirit, that we have a life, that we have a universe that is awaiting available consciousness from which to dispense through, then we can claim our power. We can claim that which we want. We can utilize these tools in a powerful way. But we really need to be the vibrational match of it. We can't just think it once, because then we're not a match, because we go about our normal type of things. We literally need to immerse ourselves, keep our attention, our focus on Spirit on an ongoing basis. And what that does is it raises our vibration, it raises us to where we become a match to the good that's available out there. It's immersion. And so we do that by our spiritual practices. We do that by coming to services. We do that by doing our daily readings. We do that, I love doing it by listening to spiritual music. We do that by prayer. We do that by meditation. We do that by making a conscious choice that I'm going to remember the truth this morning as I wake up. I'm going to remember the truth of the universe. I'm going to remember I have a loving God. I'm going to remember that God is for me. Nothing is against me. And I'm going to become that dispenser, that vessel, that vehicle that's unobstructed to allow this good to flow through and as me. And as we remember that, what ends up happening as we immerse ourselves in it, we become that frequency. I've told this story before, but when I was brand new in this teaching, I had entered this teaching and I had been in the positive thinking movement. We all remember that, positive thinking. And I was in sales, and I knew the power of my mind. I knew through positive thinking, I could see how it affected my world. But one of the things that was missing that I didn't have until I came to this teaching was the power of spirit, the power of God. Because I was forcing it, I was making it happen, I was using all of this effort to make it happen. And I got exhausted, I was tired. And then I realized there's a power for good, and it is flowing always. And as Abraham says, you put your canoe in the river, and you can let go of the oars. Instead of pushing and pushing to make it happen, you let go of the oars, it turns around, it goes down river, and you're right in the flow of your good. You're right in the flow of everything that's happening. In fact, it's without the actual pushing, the resistance, and the effort that allows us to let go and let God. What we become is conscious and awake and aware as we're doing that. So as we follow that, we have this like deep knowing. And as I mentioned before, when I was brand new in this teaching, I just saw the results of this. I saw the people living it. I saw their lives working. And I just wanted it, and I wanted it right now. And I remember thinking, just put it in my head right now. But then I realized that it isn't about the brain and what we remember and what we know. It's about becoming it. And how do we become it? I had a favorite author at the time, Joel Goldsmith, that I just loved. And sometimes I could only read like a chapter or a paragraph because it was so full. And he's what's called an absolutist, where it's God and it's only God. There's no exception. It's just God. And so I would read his stuff, and I read it every single day, or almost every day, for about probably 10, 12 years. And I remember one day, and it was like 10 years later, I turned around and kind of was looking at how well my life was working. And I realized I became it. And it wasn't one specific thing that I had to learn or whatever, but I stayed in the vibration of it, as Einstein talks here. I stayed in the vibration of God. I stayed in the vibration of good, the vibration of the Most High, as the Bible says. As we immerse ourselves in it, we naturally raise our own vibration, and we can hold our own vibration, and we become available for the good that's around us. So it's about staying steady in this. It's about remembering it. It's about doing it every single day. It's about our spiritual practice. That's the most important part. And so knowing, really, really knowing, it's almost like the operating system that's running behind your computer. No matter what's going on in life, what's unfolding in life, there's this operating system that just knows that God's there, God's in action, perfect right action is there, perfect unfoldment is happening. I can align with it, I can allow it, I can be it. It is just constantly going, no matter what has grabbed my attention, whether it's the news or something that's happened. I can always revert back to the operating system that knows the power of God, knows the vibration of the Most High, that just knows. So spiritual practice is critical as we set our intentions, because that's the power behind it. It's the juice, if you will. So then, the other thing is we need to claim our power. So often we make the mistake of praying to God and telling God. I love that little quote that says, don't tell God how big your problems are, but tell your problems how big your God is, And it's like, that's so true. Sometimes we get into prayer, or we go, okay, we evaluate our life, we look at it and we go, please God, make it stop. Or like, I don't, I'm not liking this, or whatever it is, or fix this for me, or do this for me. And we naturally do that. We get into that and we just want change, or we want something different, and we just, beg for it, basically. It says, but the truth is that the power is in as we claim it, because it already is. it's already here. And when we're asking from that standpoint, or besieging or begging, what's happening is we're not really believing that it's there. But once we have that operating system, once we really know, because we're immersed in this, we claim it right now. Health right now. I am healthy, holy, and complete. I declare this right now. I declare my health right now. I declare my abundance. I am abundant. God is abundant. I claim that right now for me. I claim my perfect relationship. I claim an overflowing bank account. I claim it right now because it is the truth of who and what I am. And so that's powerful. That's saying to the universe, I'm available. It's here. It's mine. I claim it. So we must declare it. We must claim our power. We must understand the power of our word and the power that we have as we know this is ours. You know, there's a story about the Unity, Fillmore, Unity, the woman that started Unity. And it's one of them that I always remember because this is way back in the early 1900s, and this is when TB was a deadly diagnosis. And she had heard a talk, and it was just this exact same one that said, I am a child of God, and no child of God has disease, that I am perfect, whole, and complete. And she just claimed it and claimed it and claimed it, and she actually overcame the TB, which was like unheard of. So we have a lot of power here as we claim our wholeness, as we claim our good, as we claim that we are a child of God. And as that, there is nothing that God cannot do and be and create and manifest. And so our power is really, really important to claim our power. But sometimes when we do that, we, as we move through life, we have bumps in the road. We have things that hurt, maybe somebody's sick or something's happened and our heart is really hurting, and that's part of life. Those things will grab our attention. But we have the ability in our consciousness and our awareness to feel and sense when we're lined up, when things are flowing, and when there's kind of a resistance or it's not really flowing right for us. I have what I call my God bubble. And when I'm sensing that things aren't working right, I'm hearing a lot of no's, or things aren't, for whatever reason in my life, aren't working right, instead of fighting it or trying to figure it out, sometimes I will do that first, but I usually remember to go back to my God space, to my God bubble, if you will. I want to share with you, as Ernest Holmes talks about this, on the power of our God bubble, I'll call it. It says, whenever an individual will is contrary to this universal will, it detaches itself from the source of its power. It goes alone and soon becomes exhausted. Whenever the individual will links itself up with universal harmony, it becomes a spontaneous proclamation of that harmony, now individualized. So one more time, it's not about fixing it or any specific thing. It's about when things aren't working, when we're feeling bad, or when there's some resistance, that we move within into that inner space. We surround ourselves. I like music, as I mentioned, and we trust and we surrender and we let go, and we just move into the truth, and we just sit there in truth. We just sit there in truth and let, if you will, the whirlwind stop. I had a perfect example of this, and I love this when it happens, and being aware of it. My husband and I weren't even planning on moving or buying a new house, but we saw some models up at Robertson Ranch, which is on El Camino Real between Cannon and Tamarack. And we said, let's go look at these models. And we walked into this one house, and it just hit us. This is our house. This is it. We were like shocked because we live in a beautiful home now. We weren't planning on it moving, and we just went, this is it. And so, it took a little bit to embody that, but they asked for a deposit because there was a specific lot, and the lot was perfect, and everything was perfect, and we gave them a deposit. We had like 5 days to think about it. So, everything, it was like a flood of energy. Everything said, this is what we're supposed to be doing, this is right, this is perfect. And in order for us to do this, we needed to sell our home at the beach, and it was going to be more than enough, and we were just going to be putting that equity towards it. And we had told the agent that and blah, blah. So anyways, a couple weeks later, when we came forward, we said, yes, we're interested in this. Or about a week later, we were interested, and we were getting ready to sign the sales agreement. And the agent says, oh, no, we don't do it on contingency sales, on contingent on your house being sold. Even though this wasn't a year out before it was even going to be completed, we don't do that. And initially I was like, well, I told you that before we even started, you know what I mean? And it was this, and she's like, well, you're going to need to go get a loan, and you're going to need to go do these things, and, you know, my husband's retired, and, you know, if anybody's tried to get a loan, that's not the easiest thing to do, you know, and I'm like, So I went through the process of the loan process, and the guy's looking at it, and I contacted another loan person who said, I'll give you a certificate that says that you qualify. And I was like, all right, because that's all we needed, really, that was there. But then, you know, that wasn't working. The loan wasn't going through, and I told my husband, I said, you know, this is wrong. This is, you know, this no. And now all of a sudden I'm having to do all this work, and we're having to like scatter around to figure out what's going on. This isn't right. That's not flow energy. That's not aligning energy. I said, let's just stop. Just stop. Let's just let it go. Let's just stop and see what happens. And so we did. We just said, no more energy. I'm not putting energy into this, right? And so we stopped, and within an hour, the sales agent called me, and the original loan gentleman had contacted the bigwig of the whole company, told him our situation, and they don't do contingency sales, but they said that they would do it for us. And we had the house, which was awesome. It was awesome. But for me, what the lesson was there was a perfect example of when there's resistance, when there's no, when you're pushing, when you're afraid, when you're doing, you can feel the energy. We all felt it. Stop. Just stop. Go into that space that is peace, that is ease, that is grace, that is perfect right action, everything that you know, and just hang out there. And as Ernest Holmes says, the entire universe relines back up. It's no big deal. It's only an indication that you're not in alignment. Something's out of alignment. You don't even need to know what it is. You just need to let go and stand there and let yourself line back up. Let Spirit line you back up. And it works. It works. Many of you know that I was diagnosed with cancer last year, and I had to go through chemotherapy and that, and that's not an easy journey. And I remember it was like, all right, well, this is what I'm doing, okay. And I remember at this time that I said, okay, well, I'm just going to go into my God bubble, and I'll just hang out while this chemotherapy and this stuff runs through me. I remember the bag, I had to wear it twice for 5 days, and I wrote all over it love and all this stuff, and I put little prayers in with it, and it was all loved up, man. It was good. And I saw these little love hearts running through my veins and all of this, and I just bought this phenomenal pair of Bose speakers, and I put them on, and I put my spiritual music on, and I, for the most part, besides, for the most part, I just sat there in my God bubble and just listened to the truth and listened to the truth and listened to the truth because it made me feel good. It lowered the resistance, and I knew that I was not doing this alone. I wasn't. This is God. God right in the middle. God is every part of it. And so I'm in alignment with Him. I'm in acceptance with it, and I'll just be with it. So it's powerful. So when we do get off, and we will, because we're of this world, we're new creating. Anytime we're creating something new, we're stepping into foreign ground. We don't know what's going on. It's a little scary. We just stay in principle. Stay in God. Right there. So one of the things that we do in order to do this, because the universe just says yes to us. So in that yes, we need to go into that realm of infinite possibilities. If it's all there and it's all possible, what we've been doing and what we've been thinking about maybe isn't as broad and as expansive as our life possibly could be. And if the universe, if our God is only waiting for a consciousness that is available, that is aware, that has the belief or the capacity, the frequency to line up with, to dispense its good through, then we can sit in that space of a vision and allow ourselves to become that. That's all we do. We just stay in that space and allow it. So in your program, there's an intention form. And it says, what are my visions and intentions for my life in 2017? So we give this to everybody every year, which is like really cool. And you to do a little visioning process, and I'm going to have you take this visioning process home so that you can do it at a little deeper level. But you write your intentions. In that, you fold it up, you put it in an envelope that you address to yourself. You put a stamp on it, and you bring it back to the center next week or any time, at any time. We actually have a box that we put in our prayer center, and we're praying over it all year long. And at the end of the year, so some of you that did this last year are probably getting them now. At the end of the year, we drop them in the mail and send them to you. And you can open it up and see how your intentions did and how you did for your life. So I highly recommend that you take this home, you fill it out, put it in an envelope addressed to yourself, and put a stamp on it and bring it back, because it's a powerful way of setting intentions. But one of the things that I wanted to do with you is I gave you, as you all walked in the door, a visioning form. And if anybody needs pins, raise your hand, because we do have pins. We invited you to open them at the time, but they'll walk around with pins. So this visioning form is just that. It's a way to go into the infinite, open ourselves up, and allow ourselves to receive that which is awaiting our consciousness for our good. But before I do that, I want to share with you what a vision realized is. Visioning, this actual process was created by Dr. Michael Beckwith. And this is a vision realized. It says the whole point to doing this, the whole point to going to the infinite, the whole point is opening ourselves up to a vision, is to notice what begins to flow so that we can articulate it. You see, once you own it and you can speak it, once you can articulate, once you can, we've all been there where it's like, well, I don't know what it is, but I feel something coming and this, that, and the other. The instant that you can articulate it, you can put it into action, then it becomes you. So we start by just opening and being available and allowing all of these little bits of information to come, and then we start to be able to put them all together to articulate it. Our artist has a beautiful example of this that she's going to share when she gets up to sing next time, that she's done this. But so we write it down, we express it, we dialogue about it, and we're aware of how it feels in our body. In this way, we begin to articulate God's vision for our life. We then ask, how must I develop, grow, and unfold? How must I change in order for this vision to manifest through me? Because those things that we want, if they're not in our life, it's because we're not a vibrational match for it yet. So we ask, the universe answers, how must I develop and unfold and grow in order to become a match for this vision for my life? We then pray over it as a vehicle, to be a vehicle, a delivery system from which it can move through us. And then we remember that we are not manifesting the idea. It's not what we're doing here. It's already done in the mind of God. What are we doing? We're lining up.